today because remember yesterday, no, I just went ahead and did audio. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and reread this for the recording, and that should give you more time to type this out, and then we'll talk about what it means. Ramses II became pharaoh at a young age and ruled for 66 years. That is the second longest reign in Egyptian history. He spent the first half of his time as pharaoh fighting in Canaan and Syria. Keep that in mind for the Mr. Nicky video, because when Ramses starts talking, there's a reference to this in the video. These conquests were difficult, but it brought Egypt wealth and power. He used that wealth to build more monuments than any other pharaoh. When he died at over 90 years of age, he was beloved throughout Egypt. So again, big thing we need to know about King Ramses II. He was pharaoh for 66 years. That's a really long time, right? If you have the same leader for like 66 years, is your country going to be probably pretty calm? Yeah, probably, right? He spent the first time of his fighting. So there were lots of wars, but because of those wars, Egypt grew stronger, they grew more wealthy, and they grew more powerful. Okay? And we should remember where the Fertile Crescent is, so that should make sense where they were fighting. They weren't fighting necessarily close to home. Now, he used that wealth that he got from conquering the Fertile Crescent to expand Egypt. He used it to build obelisks and pyramids and statues and things like that. Okay? So he used that power in a really good way to help Egypt. Remember, if you don't have all this typed in, which you should, but if you don't have all this typed in, you can go back and refer to this video later to get the information. Okay? The 3 ages of Egypt. No, not Mr. Nicky, the video that I'm going to put on of me doing this. Historians call the time from 2686 to 2125 BCE the Old Kingdom. It was the start of a unified Egypt. Then civil wars would plague Egypt until about 2055 to 1650 BCE. That's the Middle Kingdom. Egypt would then suffer from invasions and more civil strife until the start of the New Kingdom at around 1550, which ended in 1070 BC. The New Kingdom was the height of Egypt's power and prosperity. However, the New Kingdom would eventually decline and end due to invasions from the Assyrians, the Persians, and the Greeks. So I know there's a lot to type here, and I'll give you a moment to type it in just a minute, but I need for you to listen and hear what I'm saying. So, if you look at the timeline down here, this is important for you to know because it kind of explains what each kingdom was about. The Old Kingdom, that's when all the pyramids and stuff were built. So the things that we normally think of with Egypt, that was the Old Kingdom. And the Old Kingdom lasted for about 550 years. Okay? After that, it fell apart and people were fighting and there were civil wars all over the place for like a long time, right? For almost 200-300 years. And then there was the Middle Kingdom, and the Middle Kingdom brought Egypt back together. The Middle Kingdom lasted for about 605 years, and it was a time of peace, but it wasn't a time where Egypt really grew. And then there was more problems and stuff like that for about 200 years. And then there was Egypt's New Kingdom. And the New Kingdom is when Egypt was its strongest. This is when they made more money. This is when you have like King Ramses. This is where Egypt was a super world power. And the New Kingdom lasted for like almost 500 years. It was like 480 years. So in addition to our stuff that's highlighted here, make sure you're kind of understanding what each kingdom was known for. Okay? I am going to give you because this is the last like slide that we needed to know for our politics of Egypt. So you can go ahead and finish writing the stuff that's highlighted into the purple box of your Grapes notes. Once you get that done, you may put your Chromebook away. Any questions on that? Awesome.